Hey Flosstube, it's Amy. Welcome back to Amityville, part 7, 8, whichever. If you're going to check out the Friday the 13th part 7 or 8, that's when Kane Hodder started to play Jason. So the best Jasons ever. So there's that. Oh, okay. So it's been, again, about a month. This is probably when I'm going to do it, monthly, because, I mean, I have finishes, plural, and I have an FFO, singular, one whip, news, announcements, gifts, stuff, but, you know, it takes about a month to gather enough for me to feel as though it's worth it to do all this. If you've noticed, like, the background is different, yeah, I have my own little stitchy spot now that, you know, I have a wall so that I don't have to look at the godforsaken TV, because I hate TV. But yeah, like a comfy chair and books and my stitching on the wall and just, well, Stevie Nicks tribute up there. But yeah, like it's mine. It's my little area. It gives me much happiness. It's also very comfortable, in which case I tend to fall asleep a lot. Whatever. Okay, so let's see. Not much to catch you up on as far as life stuff. Day by day, same old, which sometimes is good. Sierra was here for about 2 weeks, and that's probably been about 3 weeks ago. She just started her first real job, and that was a big mom moment, because, you know, I'm so proud of her. I really am. And yeah, when her dad sent me a picture of her all dressed in her work uniform, I got a flashback of day one pre-K. And, you know, mom brain can't compute the fact that my little girl is, you know, working. She's working. It's part-time, you know, but it's her first real gig, and we're so proud of her. You know, we're so proud of her. But yeah, you know, I mean, that happened. So I know Sierra watches these just to hear her name, so after this part, say, you can probably shut it off, because it's going to be a lot of talk about mom. But yeah, so that happened. I mean, she's gone to orientation and stuff like that, but tomorrow is her first actual, like, start time thing, so she's a little nervous. But all I've ever told her, all I ever told both of my kids, was to do your best. That's it. Nobody's expecting perfection. Just do your best. That's how I got through. I just do my best. Okay, so yeah, not much has been happening. The one thing that did happen that was kind of huge for me, oh god, it's probably been a couple of months ago now that Christine, Crisscross Stitcher, had mentioned about doing like a meetup up here, you know, around the Gettysburg area. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I should do that. But like I've told you before, I'm good with the planning, not real good with the following through thing. So I was like, yeah, I want to go. Count me in, count me in. I secured a ride because I don't drive. But it's only literally like 20 minutes away from me, half an hour maybe. So that was coming, and it was last Saturday. So the 18th, last Saturday, I went. I actually went. So I was able to meet Chris, and I was able to meet Carrie, and Megan, and Barbara, and Tamara, and anxiety didn't win that day. It didn't win that day. I had a great time. I had a great time getting to talk to people and look at other people's stitching and have that in common with them, and everybody was interested in what everyone else was doing, and you know, it was very relaxed and very cool, and I mean, I'm ready to do it again. I'm ready to do it again. I think Chris had mentioned that maybe the next time is going to be in Lancaster, which, you know, isn't right around the corner, but I can get there. I can secure same ride because my wonderful neighbors across the hall love me. But you know, they're always willing to get me where I have to go. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I had a really good time. A really good time. So yeah, I would apologize about the hair because I'm a little windblown, but you know what? It feels like fall outside, so I make no apologies. I put up Halloween lights last night. For real. Like, we're not even into September yet, but it felt like fall. It felt like Halloween. But every day is Halloween to me. But Sean and I went on like a date night yesterday. Our date night consists of, you know, buying Halloween things, you know, which is home decor. But he had said last night, you know, I'm gonna put these up. I'm in the mood to put them up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna stop you there. Hell yeah, let's do it. So we have Halloween lights outside, and I give no damns. Nobody around here looks at me like I'm crazy. They already know. So I usually wait till my birthday to put up the Halloween stuff because my birthday is October 1st. It's been feeling like fall. It's going to be 90 and like 92 next week. I care not. Halloween lights are up. That makes me feel like fall. Fall, Halloween, I'm there. I'm always there. I live there. But now when I go outside, it's Halloween. So let's see. That's life. That's about as much as I have for you as far as what's been going on in the world of Amy. Coffee drinking is happening. Okay, so let's go with, actually did make a list this time to discuss. So I already talked about the meetup. So I guess we'll go with my singular FFO. This is the piece I took with me to the meetup in Gettysburg. It's a piece that's designed by Megan from Witchy Stitch Art. You guys know that I love her stuff. You know, and I didn't know what the lighting situation was going to be, so I wanted to take like 14 count Aida. You know, something that wasn't going to make me go any more blind than I already am. So, but the lighting was pretty good. And Carrie's husband had sent so many extension cords, and I was gonna take my lamp, but it's a clip-on lamp, like not like you can clip on your stitching, but like, you know, clip on a thing, and I just didn't know if that was gonna work, so I didn't take a lamp, but didn't need to. We had great lighting in there. The first room that they wanted to put us in, it was on like it was at the library, and it was on the like the second floor, and I don't think there was any windows at all. It was just like a room tucked away. It was creepy, but it wouldn't have held everybody who Chris was expecting to come, and which is good that they moved us to the 3rd floor because it was a bigger room. And I don't know how many people ended up showing up, and maybe 15 roundabout, say. So worked out better, but the lighting was good. Still 14 count Ada. Yep, guarantee I'll be able to see it. So I started it the night before, so Friday. Took it with me, did a little bit of work because, you know, face it, there's more talking than stitching happening at these things. You guys know. And so over the next couple of days, I worked on it until I finished it. And then yesterday on our date night when we went out to buy Halloween stuff, I was like, you know what, let me pick up a frame. So went to my good old handy dandy Dollar General and picked up a frame because I only need an 8x10. And yeah, so here is, I'm gonna not glare you, the Salem Witch Trials in memoriam piece that was stitched by Megan from Witchy Stitch Art. I will link her down below. Her designs are awesome. You've seen probably at least one in every one of my videos thus far. Yeah, so it's just stitched on, like I said, 14 count Ada, using 310 and 648. It's pale, it's like a pale gray, like a gray. I think it's 648. I could be wrong, that could be a hot pink. I don't know. Let's go with 648 though. So yeah, my borders matched up. I was extremely excited about that because y'all know that's an exciting moment in a stitcher's life. But I think it came out pretty cool. You know, I mean, this is how I FFO. I stick it in a frame and we are good to go. So it's gonna go back there somewhere on my wall. And it's strange because, you know, I do the stitching and then I put it on this wall to where my back is to it, so I don't look at it at all. But I spent enough time with it when I stitched it, right? So yeah, that was my Salem Witch Trials FFO. That happened. So yay. The next ones are just finishes. I have 20 finishes for the year so far. Again, smallish. Most are small-ish. That's my thing. So for the Summer of Salem Sal in my group on Facebook, The Stitcher's Coven, that sal's still going on. It goes on till the end of this month. I'll talk about that after this. And Ava, Truly Wicked Crafts, she started a group, the Witchy Shadows Sal. So I was like, well, this is perfect because it'll coincide with both sals. It's awesome. So a while back, Crystal from Fiber Artsy, I love you, Crystal, had gifted me Blackberry Lane Designs. I don't think so. Blackberry Lane Designs Witch's Night Out. And it's got like a bunch of motifs. I really should have pulled out the picture for this, but I'm sorry. Sarah from Stitchology, she's doing it. So she shows what it's supposed to look like. You know, she's doing like the whole thing. I did not. I just chose a motif from it. And this is the one that I chose. This is just one of the little motifs from it. This purple fabric is from Diana from It Is Kismet. Girl, I love you. And yeah, this is just some random DMC, obviously some 310, and I did do metallic, kit metallic, which is a pain in the backside, but you know, it made it kind of sparkly. I don't know if you can see the sparkly stuff, but it's there. So I just used that with a strand of like some sort of yellow, and yeah, so that was for part of the Summer of Salem and the Witchy Shadow Sale, which is still going on. I believe that's going on until Halloween. I think so. I'll link Ava's Facebook group down below. I really hope I remember to do all of this, because I tell myself to do this, and then when I'm getting all of this together, I'll forget. So if you guys need to know if I forget, get with me. I will point you in the right direction. So that happened. And then there was Lammas, you know, Lammas. So the primitive hair, these Sabbath freebies, I don't have a picture of those either. I really suck at that part. I'm really bad at it. But, so Michelle from Cozy Egg and I had decided a while back to stitch these up as the wheel turned, you know, and use the hashtag on Instagram, SabbathSal, hashtag Amy and Michelle do a thing. That part's optional. I find it enjoyable. So I did Lammas. Again, this is just on a scrap piece of really stiff, like oatmeal Aida, with, again, just, I don't think, I definitely didn't use the called for colors. I always go with the colors of the Sabbath, you know, that just are more, you know, for the actual Sabbath. So yeah, so that was Lammas. You know, all these are so quick. They're so quick. They're supposed to be ornaments. Never gonna happen in my world. But they're stitched. Okay, and then was there a Friday the 13th? Oh, that was in July. Maybe this was since then. I'm not sure. Either way, I think there was. This is again by Megan from Witchy Stitch Art. She actually does not sell this on her site. This was a gift for me. Just out of the kindness of her heart, being this sweet, amazing person that she is, she gifted this to me. She designed this up, gifted it to me. It's amazing. It gave me happiness in a time that I really needed happiness. So, so we have Jason, my beloved Jason. I don't know, I don't know that it necessarily has a name. I just call it Friday the 13th Jason, for me, because I love him. And yeah, this is with all the called for, you know, she just charts it for DMC. I was going to originally stitch it on black, because I thought it would look badass on black, but I didn't have any, and I wanted to do this. I also did this for the Jessie Marie Does Stuff Turns 5 Flosstube anniversary sal that she was doing. So this was my my J. This was also my M, because, okay, J, Jason, duh. M for, was it murder? Probably. I I don't remember. Probably was. D was for death, because it's kind of what happens around him. The S was, oh no, the M, I know what it was, for Megan, because Megan designed it. And murder works too. Yeah, the D was for death, and the S was for Steve Miner, who was the director of my favorite installment in the franchise, which was part 2. It's where he wears a burlap sack on his head. That's what this Ada feels like. Or perfect. And then, you know, she had like the free day. So, you know, she said, you know, it could be something that she enabled you with, or something, you know. Well, this was because Jessie is down with horror. I'm down with horror. She digs Jason. I mean, not obsessively like I do, but, you know, she digs Jason, so he got that the extra day anyway. So I love him. I have plans for how I'm going to finish him. My dad and I are working on something. But the conversation that happened between Sean and I over this was pretty funny. I had said to him, hey, where can I get a machete? And he looks at me kind of funny and does this, why? And I said, because, you know, I need one. And there was silence for a second. And he looks at me and he says, Amy, I'm not buying you a machete. What does that say? What does that say? My husband doesn't trust me? No, he totally does, but, you know, maybe he shouldn't. Yes, so that was my wonderful, amazing Jason Friday the 13th piece for the Jessie Marie Sal, designed by Megan, Witchy Stitch Art. Yeah. Why does this happen when you have to talk to people? Like, you don't cough all day, and then you have to talk to people, and then you cough. Nothing professional about these videos, people. Okay, so the Salem Witch Trials thing was in my list. That was my 19th finish, but I showed you already because it was my lone FFO. So then the last one that I did, my last finish, again designed by Megan, and I've had this pattern for a while. I also took this one with me to the meetup, but this is on, I want to say it's 18 count. I think it's 18 count. Darker fabric, and I didn't want to necessarily risk that, but I took it with me just in case. So I again had started it on the Friday prior, just to have a start on it when I took it, and I never worked on it, so I worked on it here, and I used, again, gorgeous purple fabric from Diana, and I used floss from Victoria Motto in Mint Julep, because I just thought these colors, I had started this a while ago, and I ripped it all out because I was like, yeah, I don't really know how I feel about it. So I stepped away from it for a while, was going to use the fabric for something else. And then, you know, you just do that floss toss again, and you're like, but something keeps pulling me to this color combo, and, you know, I'm just going to do it. So I did. This is the We Are the Granddaughters of the Witches You Could Not Burn. You know, this, Summer of Salem, you know, to wrap it all up in a nice, neat little package for me. So this is how it turned out. I love it. Looking at it now, I love it. I mean, this fabric is coming out maybe a little bit more, you know how colors happen on the video. But I just thought this green with this purple, I hated it at first. Well, it wasn't that I hated it, I just wasn't sure. And, you know, I thought rather than stitch the whole thing and hate it, I just frogged it out. You know, it's like, okay, you know, not gonna happen. And I went back, did it, love it. I love it. You know, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram or you're friends with me on Facebook or you're in the Stitchers Coven, because if you're not in the Stitchers Coven, why are you not in the Stitchers Coven? Come over, hang out with us. You don't have to be a witch. You don't have to stitch witchy stuff. It's fine. Just come over. So yeah, this is how this turned out. I haven't cut it down yet. Because I'm totally going to save as much of this fabric as I possibly can because I love it. But yeah, that's how that came out. On the sides here in the original design, there's like triangles. I could not get those to work. To save my life, I could not get those to work on 18 count. Because I think Megan, she charts everything for 14 count. It may have worked better on 14 count. I don't know. But I could not get it to work on here. So I just improvised with these little starburst things. But yeah, I love it. I love the way it turned out. So those are my finishes. How many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 finishes since I talked to you last. No, gotta stitch. It's my therapy. Yeah. Sean won't buy me that machete, so I have to stab fabric. Okay, so the whip that I'm working on, I'm still doing the 100 days of Hade challenge. I didn't post, I mean, I posted in my album on there on day 50, but I didn't post in the, I don't want to call it a competition thread, but it's, you know, kind of, sort of, if you're part of it, you know what I mean. But I did post my progress in my album. I post my progress on Instagram quite a bit because I do. I have worked on this every day for, what are we on now? Like day 53? 54, 52, somewhere in there, So I have, you only have to do 1 stitch. I do more than 1 stitch. So this is The Witch's Apprentice by Lisa Parker for Heaven and Earth Design. And this is what I have so far. Yeah, it's crooked on the Q-snap. It was crooked on the Q-snap last time. I just don't have time to fiddle with that, people. I have stuff to do. But, yeah, like, there's a whole lot of confetti, man. Like, for real, I have heard people say about, hey, you know, and all the confetti and the confetti and the confetti. And of course, when I started this, I was cross-countrying the black, so, you know, no confetti there. Oh boy. Yeah, I found it. I found it all in here. This cat has so many, I mean, there's purples and grays and different shades of blue, and there's a lot of colors in just him. And I mean, I've only done this part of him, so there's a lot more of him. I had a little mishap with some coffee. It's okay because it's going to get covered up, so I'm not losing my mind over that, because yeah, but it's going to get covered up, so it's no big deal. But yeah, so this is my day 50 whatever progress of The Witch's Apprentice, and there's my Poe because I love him and I can't not use him. So yeah, I just did this and this last night, so I'm starting to fill in the this part here. But, you know, I'm trying to work across. I kind of want to get to this part, but, you know, page 1 is completely done except for these little, you know, rogue confetti stitches. But yeah, so that's my one whip that I have going on now. There's going to be more whips happening because this takes me into plans, the news / announcements part. So first and foremost, if you are a member of the Stitchers Coven, I announced the new SAL for September, October, November a couple of weeks ago. I did sort of like a little word game kind of a thing to see if anybody could maybe guess it, and if people guessed it, you know, I would tell them what it was. So I knew I had to do something with Halloween because Halloween. And I wanted to mix some horror in there because, you know, I'm a little bit of a fan. And so as I was thinking on it, I thought, okay, we're going to do Horrorween. That's what we're going to do. You know, I knew a lot of people were going to be doing Halloween stuff, you know, which is great because like I said, you know, if you're part of other Halloween sales, hey, just throw that hashtag on there too and it covers it. It's starting on September the 1st. It is going until November the 30th. Any Halloween piece, anything you can mold, it can have a pumpkin on it. It doesn't have to be a jack-o'-lantern. It can be a pumpkin, and you can say, you know what, that's Halloween, because when people see pumpkins, they think of Halloween. Maybe that's just me, but I mean, I think of Halloween. If it's got a cat in it, cats are Halloween. It doesn't have to be witchy, you know, none of that. In order to be a member of the Stitchers Coven, you don't have to be into the witch thing. That's just my thing, and you don't have to be that. It's fine. Everybody's welcome, I promise. We're very nice people over there. So yeah, so that's going to happen. I have some ideas of what I want to work on. Some are sitting right there. That I'm thinking, you know, I have to finish kitting some of it. One, I have to get fabric for. So yeah, that's Horrorween. You don't have to be a member of the group to participate in this. But you should be a member of the group because, like I said, we're pretty freaking awesome. And you don't have to be on Facebook. If you're only on Instagram, that's fine. It carries over to Instagram as well. The hashtag is going to be Horrorween. Okay, so horror and ween together. TSCSAL. So Horrorween TSC Sal. That's going to be the hashtag. And you know, just hashtag the hell out of that. I follow all of the hashtags for the sales that we do, so I'll get to see everything. Follow the Stitchers Coven on Instagram, just under the Stitchers Coven. We'll follow you back. Again, I say we, it's me. It's a one chick show. But yeah, I'd like to really see what everybody's working on. I was really excited about this one because, you know, it's Halloween and horror, so I'm down. But I know that a lot of people like to stitch Halloween. I know that a lot of people are starting to be like so over summer and they're ready for fall, and people have already started their Halloween stitching, which, keep it coming, guys. I love seeing it. I love seeing it. It's so enabling, though. So I would say stop, but don't. Okay, so yeah, that's happening. Halloween TSC Sal. Yeah. And where was I going to go after that? Oh, okay. September the 21st is Mabon. So the wheel is turning. So I'm going to be working on the primitive hair freebie for that. Again, if you want to be part of that, join in that. That's not necessarily a Stitcher's Coven thing. That's just an Instagram thing that Cozy Egg, Michelle, and I sort of decided to do. So that's not affiliated with the Coven. It's just fun Instagram stuff. It's the primitive hair freebies. They're on her blog. Yeah, so that's September the 21st. It's just for the day. I mean, if you want to work on it after the day or prior to the day, whatever, just post it on the day. If you've already finished it, post it. I'd love to see it because, you know, some people do it as charted. Some people stitch it on linen. Some people stitch it on even waves. Some people stitch on Ada. I want to see it all because I love it. And that hashtag is just Sabbat Sal. So SABBAT SAL. And Amy and Michelle do a thing because that tickles me. Okay, so that's going to happen on September the 21st. October 1st is my birthday. I'm thinking of doing kind of a birthday stitch along thing. I don't know what the theme is going to be yet. I mean, I'm half tempted to say, look, you know, if you see something, you know, that makes you think of, this is weird and Amy would like it, I'll stitch this up. Do that. Because, you know, Jessie's really good at coming up with these things. I'm not so much. But I thought, you know what? My birthday's before Halloween. If only my mom could have just held out for 30 more days. But, yeah, so I'm like, you know, people are stitching spooky things, and, yeah, so I'm thinking about doing a birthday style. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. That's tentative. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. The next thing that I have is gifts. I have asked one of the ladies if it was okay if I mentioned her. I didn't ask the other ladies, so I hope it's okay. I have posted the stuff on Instagram and to tag them in it, so I'm gonna assume it's okay. If not, I'm really sorry. But I'm excited about things, and you can yell at me privately or publicly. Okay, so this is in no order of how I received anything, just where it is, where I'm going to grab it. Danielle, Stitcherista, do I have to even say that part? Danielle contacted me, asked me for my address so that she had something she'd like to send me. Okay. So she did. She sent me the just cross stitch Halloween thing. There's a glare, but you guys have seen this, right? I mean, people have done flip throughs and everything, and I know a lot of people weren't all that impressed with a lot of the stuff that was in here. But there's actually a few things in here that I'm gonna stitch. Yeah, I love this one right here. Wow, that was like bright. But see all this back stitching? Yeah. We've talked about this. But yes, So yeah, so she sent me, none of the stores around here sell cross-stitch magazines. None of them. Quilting, yes. Scrapbooking, yes. Crochet, yes. Knitting, yes. Gardening, yes. No cross-stitch at all. The Walmart, the Joann's, no. I've not checked Hobby Lobby. Does Hobby Lobby even sell magazines? I would assume they do. I don't know. I don't get there that often. Our closest Michael's is not close. So, yeah, so, and our one lone bookstore that we have, which is a Books A Million. Again, any other hobby that you have, you are covered. If you cross-stitch, though, screwed. So, this is my first cross-stitch magazine I've ever had in my life. So thank you, Danielle. Thank you for thinking of me, because there is stuff in here that I'm going to stitch. So there was that. And then the lovely, amazing Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42, my friend, a quarter of my brain. She was stitching up a Waxing Moon Designs called Witch on Duty. If you guys haven't seen her finish of that, go watch that, because it's so good. But everything she does is so good, and I love her. She's like my idol. She's a quarter of my brain, though. So, you know, I had commented on the fact that I really, really like the design, because it's perfect. You know, it's just kind of perfect. And so then it just showed up in my mailbox, because that's Audrey and that's how she rolls. And when it showed up with one of these amazing Addams Family postcards that are gigantic, and I love them. I have like 3 of them now. Love them. But I love this one in particular, and it says, "Are you unhappy, darling?" And she says, "Oh yes, yes, completely. This is my life." So, yeah. So, gigantic postcards. I love these. I love these. So, yeah. And she sent me the chart. So, Waxing Moon Designs, Witch on Duty, Casting Spells, and Taking Names. I believe when Audrey stitched it, though, I think she just stitched this part and then moved the broom up. I don't believe she did the words. And I kind of like the way that she did it, so I might not do the words either. I think I might just do the cat and the hat and the Witch on Duty thing with the broom. I like the way that she finished that. And her FFO of it, so good. So good. So, thank you, Audrey. Quarter of my brain, hero of mine, fellow witchy lady. You know how I feel about you. I tell you this constantly. Okay, and speaking of Audrey, in the Stitcher's Coven, I don't know, whenever Harry Potter's birthday was, she had posted about that, because she, if you've watched Audrey, you know she loves Harry Potter, as does most of the world. And I had commented on it, that I had never read the Harry Potter books, and that I had never seen the films. And the only thing that stopped me from seeing the films is that I hadn't read the books. I was never opposed to reading them. They just didn't come down my alley, you know. My daughter she never got into them. She got into the Twilight books and the Hunger Games books. She never got into Harry Potter, so it just wasn't in my life, you know. It wasn't a thing. But you know, and I never sought it out, because I'm sure I was obsessed with Stephen King or Patricia Cornwell or Anne Rice or somebody I was heavily obsessed with. So I just never got around to it. Well, Diana from It Is Kismet, um, I think she was just thrown for a loop. Like, how do you not know Harry? How do you not know them? How do you not know these people? How do you not know this world? Are you crazy? So she decided to send me the first book, right? Um, I love the artwork on these. These are so awesome. I literally, the day that I received it, I picked it up, you know, and I was glancing at usually I always glance at like maybe the first page or so of the chapter. I read this in 24 hours. I absolutely loved it. I loved being in this world. Again, it came at a time where I needed to be anywhere other than in this world, so this world worked for me. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. So I had contacted her to let her know, you know, thank you for that amazing gift, because it really was more than just a book. You know, I mean, this truly was a gift, and you know, in waves. And she was like, yeah, you know, I'm glad that you liked it. Check your mail. So this one I have not read yet. I just haven't had the time to devote to it. You know, I need to not have so much other stuff on my plate before I get into this. So he showed up again, and I couldn't be happier about that. Diana, for real, I mean, this, like I said, it's a gift. It's more than just, you know, the gift of a book. It's the gift of, you know. So that happened. Because people are just amazing like that. I will never get over the pure just generosity and thoughtfulness and selflessness of the people in this community. I'm floored by it all the time. Not just when it happens to me, but, you know, seeing the amazingness that gets spread across this community. It gives me so much happiness, you know, in a world where most people are, you know, not very cool. I'm glad I belong to a community where I see such amazingness happen all the time, every single day. It's just, it really is, it's a heartwarming thing, you know, to think that, oh, wait a minute, the world doesn't completely suck, because there are so many people in it that are amazing, and I am glad and proud that I get to know a lot of you. And you know, to those I don't know, you know, get with me. I want to know you. I want to know you, because you belong to this community. You are more than likely an amazing human being. Okay, so Christine Calico, I did ask her if I could say her name, and she said yes. So, Calico, she had contacted me and had asked me, she was going to send some stuff, I believe, to Michelle for her Alzheimer's thing, auction. And so she came across this, and she's like, you know, I just wanted to check with you first and see if you wanted it, because I'm sending all this other stuff to Michelle. I was wondering if maybe you would like this. I just saw it. It kind of sort of screamed your name to me. And she showed me the picture of it, and I'm like, Yes, because it reminds me of Stevie Nicks, if that makes any sense. Maybe it will when I show it to you. So it's this gorgeous chart, but I mean, she reminds me of Stevie Nicks. Is that just me? Does things just remind me of Stevie Nicks randomly throughout my day? I don't know, but it just reminds me of Stevie Nicks, I guess because she's just ethereal and beautiful, and so is Stevie Nicks. Y'all, American Horror Story, so yeah, so this is Frostbearer. So yes, you know, thank you, yes please. So that's what I was expecting, right? Oh, so I opened up the package. There were some cinnamon sticks in there, like actual cinnamon sticks. They are, I'm not going to show them, they're being used for magical witchy things. But there was this little perfect thing. It reminds me of my Amity. If you guys have watched me before, you know all about Amity. If this is your first time, I have a black cat named Amity who doesn't live with me, who lives with her dad. And I love her more than anything in the world. So any black cat I see is Amity. So yeah, and I've never done one of these. I've never beaded, like ever. I've never beaded. I've had some dimensions kits that call for a couple of beads. I can't even. I just, it intimidates me. But yes, so you know, this has beads. Okay. Because then she also sent me the tacky bob to go with it, I guess, to say, girl, you're gonna bead. So she also has this, and she kind of wants to maybe sell it, so I'll keep you posted, Christine. You know, for now my excuse has been, well, I had to show it in a video, and now that I've shown it in a video, I'll get with you. You know, this might happen during the Halloween sale, because it might end up with no beads. We'll see. So that gloriousness happened, and then there was like this little cute die cut pumpkin, and with these, you know what I'm about to show, right? So the first thing we have is this adorable Halloween greetings needle minder. I love it because, you know, pumpkins, and love that. When I saw this, I squealed, like, in a way that dogs in the neighborhood probably started to freak out. It is a gnome needle minder. You guys know how I feel about gnomes, right? There's some that are right there. See, there's Wilford. He's right there. And then there's another one over there, and there's another one that's on that side, and there's a couple out there and a couple in there. I don't have a problem. But he showed up, and I squealed. I literally squealed. And there were some tears. I love him. I adore him, and I sat and I'm like, he's going to tell me his name, because, you know, whatever. And he did. His name is Cornelius. That is his name, and he has been on this die cut pumpkin since I received him, so that I could show you him in all of his gloriousness. And now I can use him. He can go up here with my other needle minders and be right here where I sit, and I can look at him until he goes on the perfect project. This is Cornelius. I love it. And no, that wasn't it, because, you know, it's Calico and she's amazing. But y'all know I have a coffee problem, right? Y'all know that it's a problem. It's a problem. So this gorgeous bag was there. She made this. She made this. And she sent it to me. Because it's my life on a bag. And it's got the vinyl front, and it's got the gorgeous, gorgeous interior and the zipper. And I'm gonna unzip it because I love the sound. And yeah, really, guys, it's coffee. I have a problem. And the first step is admitting you have a problem, right? I have a problem. I don't want to help though. It's fine. And there's the zipper sound again. So those were my gifts. That was my amazing haul. Because you guys are awesome. And the fact that you think of me for anything, you know, but to contact me and say, hey, you know, there's this stuff and it makes me think of you and I want you to have it. Guys, you just, you know, I don't know. Everybody says it, right? You know, you guys just, you don't know. It always comes on the days when you need it the most too. You know, it's like always on the rain day. And there it is, you know, to just say, hey, you know what, everything doesn't suck and everybody doesn't suck and your life is okay, you know. So that's it, and that's all, guys. Like, that's it. That has been a hour-long walk through my life. It's been rambly, even though I made a list, whatever. Yeah. So, Stitcher's Coven, Halloween Sal, come over. If you're not on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Follow the Stitcher's Coven on Instagram. It's not us, it's me. Or you can follow me on Instagram, same name as here. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything about like what's gonna fit, pretty much if you can make it fit, it'll fit. Yeah, not picky about that. Not gonna come find you and say, nope, you can't be in it because that doesn't work. It works. It works. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming back and subscribing and following me on the other social media platform things, and putting up with my Jason obsession, because that's not going away. Yeah, I'm doing on Instagram right now, because I do these challenges all the time. I had done a music challenge last month, I think, and then I'm doing a movie challenge this month, and that's a lot of fun. So if you're interested to see what kind of stuff I like or don't like, follow me on Instagram, because there's always something happening over there. Yeah, so I'm going to upload this monstrosity of a video. But you know, Stevie Nicks was up there and I showed you that, and that right there was worth the price of admission. So anyway, at this point I'm just rambling because I kind of just want to wrap it up and go back outside and enjoy my Halloween lights in the fall weather before it becomes 93 degrees. So yeah, just keep being awesome, and I will see you in probably about a month, because it's about what I can promise. It's about how it works. It's about enough time for me to have something in my life to sit here and share with you. So hopefully I will have much more done on the Haid to show it. I'm gonna work on him tonight because it's just what I do. And I'll listen to podcasts, and found a new one that I'm kind of sort of obsessed with. If you guys are into the true crime thing, these are like, it's more along the lines of missing people, you know, just unsolved things like, you know, murders or disappearances, things like that. It's called Trace Evidence. It's so good. I found it through another podcast that's, you know, true crime related, called Once Upon a Crime. That one's really good as well. Of course, I'm still listening to Last Podcast on the Left and My Favorite Murder and all of my favorite things. Getting back into my real ghost stories online, though, because with Halloween coming and stuff, I just want to listen to all the ghost stories. The other day it was raining and storming, and that's all I wanted to do. I was gonna record this video then, and I'm like, you know what? It's raining and it's storming. We could lose power at any moment, but I'd rather just sit on my butt and stitch and listen to ghost stories, and that is exactly what I did. And I drank the coffee because it goes without saying. So check those out if you're into the true crime thing, as most people tend to be recently. Check that out, Trace Evidence. It's really good. Once Upon a Crime is also really good. And then there's another one called The Apex and the Abyss, which is a little deep. It's not offensive, it's just deep. So that one's good too. Anyway, enough rambling. Okay, I'm shutting up now. So I will see you guys in about a month. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate that. So until I talk to you again, blessed be. Love and light. See ya.